What's going on, guys? It's your man, Big Vegg, and why they call me Big Vegg? Come on, man, it's because I'm always doing big things. I'm your Rocarazzi Media Ambassador, man. Yo, and we are here at Feel Good Studios NYC with my man, King Leek. What's up, my brother?
Hey, man, all is well, and yourself?
I'm doing good, brother. I mean, you know, this is your first interview, like first real interview, so I feel like I'm breaking the ice, so anybody that comes after me, they gotta, you know what I mean? They gotta set the bar, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's what's up.
Why not start with the best? You feel me? Yeah.
Right, exactly. Just to let you know that this is a part of my series called the Rocarazzi Memoir Series, where we tap into the past, present, and future of one's career. So we're basically going to be talking about your past, where you came from, the present, where you are now, and of course the future, where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, because everybody has a story. You know what I mean? So let's start from the beginning. Like, you're a producer, amongst other things. so and you know what it is? Before we came into the room and we started to set up everything, my man Leek is like, yo, Veg, I don't really be put myself out there like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very humble. I stay to myself. So I'm asking you to brag a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna make him brag.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. Like cameras and everything like that, they make me a little bit nervous. But I'll try my best. You feel me? I'll try my best.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. How did you acquire a passion for producing and getting into the studio?
Honestly, like I really been around like on the music scene on like the low key tip since like about 2012. Like, so like long story short, me and my best friend at the time, like it was around like right after I graduated high school, we moved to LA. And West Coast, but actually, correction, we moved to San Diego, but we were in LA a lot, and this was just like all pretty much chasing the dream. Like at the time, my man,
dream of being in the music.
yeah, just being in music. Cause at the time, I really had no aspirations of being a producer. It was just more so the fact that my man's is rapping, and I was like, yo, my man's is rapping. We gonna do this shit, like. So we had the
So he was like the wingman.
Yeah, at the time, yeah, like and so we had the clothing line going as well. So it was actually three of us. So my man, he was rapping, and then like my other man's, he was managing him, and I was more so like holding down the clothing line and just kind of plug my man in any way I can, really.
That's what's up. Yeah. So you were on the West Coast, and how did you, I guess, come over here to start, I guess, get into the producing and all that?
Well, I started producing in 2017. And the funny story, this is so crazy because nobody really knows how I started producing. How I started producing was because at the time there was this homegirl, like, shit's so crazy. I mean, long story short, my old laptop was stolen. Yeah, pretty much. It was a MacBook Air, and my shit was stolen. And then so I brought myself a MacBook Pro. And after I spent that stack and change on getting that laptop, I said, yo, like, yeah, facts. And I said, you know what, like, I was just inspired by, you ever read the book, The 4 Hour Work Week?
I heard it,
yeah.
I never read it, but I heard of the book.
But long story short, like, they speak on, like, the new rich, and I was just inspired by that. I was like, I want to be a part of the new rich. Like, I'm going to figure out a way to monetize this laptop if I just spent $1,000 on it.
Right.
So one of the ideas or one of the like kind of passions I stumbled upon was just like making beats because I've always had a love for hip hop. I've always the culture, and it's just like, you know what I mean. Like I always felt like, yo, that was just the thing. Like I can't rap for shit, so I was like, if I'm gonna be a part of the culture, maybe this is like the easiest way to like slide my way up in here. So I started making beats in 2017, and like I really got my first placement, or like not necessarily. I haven't done any major label things or anything like that. But like,
Yet.
yeah, exactly, correctly. We're gonna speak it into
That's
existence.
right. Speaking to existence, King.
But yeah, like so 2017 and 2018, I was kind of back and forth, still finding my sound. In 2019, like that's when I finally like really got the ball rolling and started having people get on my beats, and I was like, oh, okay, like might be a little decent at this.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess let's get into style. Like, what type of style do you have as far as a producer? What can you call yourself? Not to put yourself in the box, but what could you say your style is when it comes to production?
I think what makes me unique is just the fact that I have such a versatile ear for music. Like for one, I grew up in a Haitian household, so like just the background of just hearing like I mean not only Haitian music but just like all types of different West Indian music. So having an ear for that. Like I've lived on the West Coast, so I have an ear for that. I've lived in Atlanta before, so I have an ear for that.
Okay.
Born and raised in New York City, so I have an ear for that. So like I mean as far as style, like I love it all. Like 1 minute I could be, vibing out to some Erica Badu and I can make a neo soul. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then and then the next track could literally be some G Herbo, and you know what I mean? Like we in this bitch just like turned up. So
Right.
like yeah, that's just kind of the type of time I'll be on. Like I necessarily I mean
You don't have like a certain lane, but you could we could say it's versatile.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
What are some inspirations that you look to when it comes to production, like the Premieres, the Just Blazes, like?
I actually got to give a shout out to my man Buddha the Future, like, cause real talk, like that was one of the first producers I was ever in the studio with.
Really?
Yeah, most definitely. And then just like that New York sound, like everything that they're doing, like to this day, like it's still inspiring. As far as producers go, definitely Swiss Beats, like just that, like his cadences are just like second to none. Just Blaze, Kanye, Timbaland, of course.
Right. Timbaland got the drums.
Yeah, exactly. Just that bop, cause like my mantra here at Feel Good Studios is like making music people feel, not listen to.
Right. Feel
So
good.
yeah, exactly. So that's that's what it all like kind of like revolves around. It's just like not necessarily just like doing something, but just like following your feeling, kind of moving in your purpose type of energy and vibes.
Got you. And I like the way you just transitioned into that. So now let's talk about the studio. So how did you start the studio? Feel Good Studio.
Shout out to my best friend Matt, MVP. But pretty much me and him at first, like cause me and him have been making music together since like 2017. But long story short, his lease was about to be up at his apartment, and I was like just kind of still trying to. I had just moved back to New York, so I was still kind of looking for a permanent residence as well. And the idea started as like, yo, let's find an apartment together and just turn that bitch into a studio. Right. Luckily, his mom actually gave us the motivation and like the drive to like, if you're gonna do something, do it at the highest level possible. And so she was the one who helped us actually find this location, and then pretty much the rest was history.
And how long have you guys been stationed here?
So we've been here since September of 2019.
Okay, so
Yeah.
almost a year. It'll be a year. It'll be a year this fall.
6 month mark, yeah, but yeah, it'll be a year this September, yeah.
Definitely, man. If you guys need a studio, make sure you
Studios come make music people feel. You know what I mean?
Feel good.
So exactly. I feel like that's what that's where it all started. Like that feel good music that your granny, the baby, everybody in the house. Exactly.
Everybody can bop to.
Exactly. So that's really what it's all about, really. Just having that good vibe, that good energy, translate into the music.
Now you're also A&R as well. So talk about that position. You're A&R here or like?
And I mean, the funny thing is, I always had. I'm still an aspiring A&R, and then like between just as far as when it comes to those in my studio, like if an artist comes and they don't have like a sound, and I don't necessarily have the capabilities of producing a sound, or like my beats are starting for them, like I'm gonna go and find a producer to connect them with, and put the pieces together to bring out the best possible end product. So yeah, so the funny thing is like the reason I always wanted to be an A&R or a manager actually, but long story short, like I started producing as well because I was like, all right, nobody wants to let me A&R they shit. I don't really have any credentials to back me up, so like let me start producing first. So so niggas could see that like I could do this, and then like the more like as I got better at producing and people like kind of necessarily, I don't think I'm like well respected yet. Like I feel like I'm still earning that respect, but yeah, most definitely. But as far as like A&R goes, it's just like me just trying to help connect the dots. Kind of how I've always been a team player, so that's just like my whole mindset behind that is like if I can't do it, like I'm gonna find who can. and put, I'm always about like putting my teammates and putting those around me in the best possible position to succeed. So that's just my goal with that.
That's what's up. Let's talk about King Leek. What does that name come from? Like, what's the meaning behind that?
So my name is Malik.
Oh.
So it's no
It's
you
just that simple.
you would be surprised though,
I mean,
cause people like there's been times like
Cats got their names and it be the weirdest shit. You know what I'm saying?
fact, cause I could have been like like my faucet used to leak and it could have been that, but nah.
Like you King Leek the third and shit.
Yeah, nah, facts. But long story short, my name is Malik, and then if anyone out there is Muslim, I'm not Muslim per se, but like they'll know that the meaning of that name is like king, master, like and the funny shit is like back in the day, like I mean that's the reason why like I kind of like that. Yeah, that's been my like Instagram name since like 2012 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Make sure y'all follow him. You know, shameless plug.
yeah, but the funny thing is though is just that like because I'm a humble dude, so like people think like I'm gonna have like this king like aura to me or some shit like that, but it's just like nah, yeah, it's just because of the fact that like my name is Malik, and then my mom used to always tell me like your name means king and shit like that. So and then like prior to that, before Instagram and all of that, it was MySpace, and like I think like my MySpace name or like my handle on AIM or shit was like Ladies Love League. So I was just like, yo, like I'm too old and like that shit's kind of corny. Like let me choose something up. Yeah, facts. I was like, you know what? Let me just choose something different, and I just kind of ran with that.
Are you producing for any artists now? Like, what can we expect? Any hits that you making in the studio? Like, what's up?
The funny thing is, I got a song, an unreleased song with Tory Lanez on the hook. Yeah. So if you watching this, holla at your boy. Like,
Let's get
but
that
yeah,
out.
that I mean, as far as like the most, I guess.
Like, it don't gotta be big. It could be on the sign. Like,
Yeah, as far as
that you can say.
yeah, I mean, as far as like things that I'm hoping to have released this year is that song. Also there's this artist who's on the come up named Ginois, very talented. I have a few things cooked up with him and my cousin True Beats, both very talented from Atlanta. To be honest, I'm always working. There's probably
Got a lot cooking.
yeah, there's probably a few more things that are just not coming to me right now, but there's definitely a lot. Yeah, most definitely, always. That anyone who knows me, knows that like that's all I do.
What is your like vibe in the studio? Like when you get into producing, like everybody got their, there are certain things that they need, like the drinks, the ladies, or just themselves. You and the engineer, like what's the vibe in the studio when it comes to you making beats?
For me,
like, what do you need? Like what's like dim lights, like
yeah, for me, to keep it a buck, I'm a heavy weed smoker. Like today you actually caught me. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah, you definitely caught me very sober. But not to say that like I think I'm one of those like I'm like Wiz Khalifa. Like I could light one up and still be very productive. But like usually my vibe is like some good weed, good energy. I'm like DJ Khaled. Like the AC got to be on the right temperature.
Oh, wow.
The lights got to be right. Cause I'm real big on just like the vibe and the environment and translating that real time energy into the music and things like that. So like I wouldn't say like I'm high maintenance or anything like that, but I definitely like the energy in the room to be like very well balanced and like
Because everybody got their vibes. Like some people need candles to be lit. Some people.
Kind of my like that's kind of my aura right there as well. Like if there's some candles we could light, like
candles,
like where just like some pretty woman maybe in the environment. See, but but at the same time I'm weird though. I think I like that in post production. Like when it's like cooking up from scratch, I kind of like just whoever's a part of the process to be in the room because some people don't understand the process. So like as a producer, you may be listening to the same loop like 50 times in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if some
sample.
Exactly. So you may be trying to, you know what I mean? When you're trying to cook something from scratch, like you don't want people who aren't in part of the process present because they might not even understand what's going on, and they like to throw in their 2 cents, and it's like, man, if you don't sit your ass down,
right. Let's get busy.
Yeah, facts.
All right. What are some future goals that you have for the rest of the year? I mean, we're still early in 2020, so we got a whole good 6+ months left in 2020. Like, what are some goals you have for the rest of the year?
So for the rest of the year, I have a lot because like I mean, you told me to brag a little bit, but I'm not really not
See, he's listening.
Not to really brag, but so far this year, we've got the studio going. Then I'm also in the Airbnb business, so we have a few properties like, you may
That's real estate, y'all.
yeah, if you're in the New York City area and you like use Airbnbs, who knows? You may be staying at one of my properties in the near future. Um,
Okay.
yeah, as far as just like kind of create this platform, like, cause the whole like I guess concept of this studio is to like be that bridge between like the home studio and the actual like industry
Right.
studio. So like
Actual professional studio.
exactly. So like I want to continue to tap in with other like unsigned artists, other artists who just need that industry standard sound. Like a lot of people are recording from home and don't necessarily
Had
have
that sound, had that quality, that
exactly
sound quality.
exactly like they may not have access to like a U87 microphone
Right.
or
That's a Neumann, y'all.
yeah yeah
Just in case
three
they don't know.
$3,000 microphone.
You're
That's
right,
not too crazy. Not too crazy.
talk to me, brother.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, like I don't know, like to me my purpose is like to be a blessing to others. So it's just like
Yeah, like you said, bridge the gap between the home studio and the actual professional studio to give that sound, but also to give that homey feel.
exactly to just kind of make it as easy as possible to translate those energies and make the music. So I want to continue to just pretty much help those around me, help those put out their best possible projects. Um, I want to start something like some type of YouTube platform or show where I also like film artists here doing more. Like I have a couple. If you check out my Instagram, Feel Good Studios NYC, I have a couple of like videos of just like in studio experiences. So I want
So
to
we can say like you're teaching those that might be watching, or just
tap into that as well. Like with my homeboy Matt, my partner. I want him to like do tutorials because he's a genius, and I wish he was here to drop some game as well. But maybe in the future.
no, we'll get him. We'll get him soon.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But yeah, like so to have him, help those and add value. Like my whole mindset is just adding value in any shape, way, or form. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like that always doubles back tenfold.
Okay. Last couple questions. So Feel Good Music NYC is a studio, but you guys are maybe planning maybe start a label, have a roster under you where you guys manage artists, or because you know what it is in today's era, there's a lack of artist development.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
that's kind of like my hopes
that might be
is
one of the goals too. Or?
yeah, my hopes is to focus on artist development. Like with this studio, like that's part of my goal is like artist development and like just the whole bridging the gap between home and like industry standard. It's just like it's a homey feel but with an industry standard. So like hopefully I can be that space where like labels send their artists to me so that I can help develop them because I don't necessarily want to be a label, but I would like to possibly be like that either that's like that camp that they can come to or just somewhere that people can come and develop and hone in their skills. It's kind of like if like if this was the league, because I compare music and sports a lot, so it's like
There's levels to this.
exactly. I mean, but like
Underground, mainstream, almost mainstream.
not only that, but like certain players like they go and train with Kobe Bryant during the off season. Rest in peace, by the way. But it's just like that's how I look at like this space, kind of in a way. It's just like a platform for others to succeed, but also like a place where you can come and sharpen your skills and hone in on your craft. And
That's the A&R and you King.
trying, man. I'm just trying.
I hear that,
Yeah.
bro. All right, that's what's up. Last thing, so if they wanted to book you guys, if they want to holler at you for beats, look into that camera, tell them how they can follow you guys.
All right, so if you're trying to get in, tap in, get in tune with me, just follow me on Feel Good Studios NYC on Instagram, and the booking, or if you want to book a session or anything like that, the link is literally right there. So right next to email is book. You press your time, and you know what I mean. I'll get the notification, and yeah, we'll move on from there.
What's up? And your Instagram?
No, my Instagram King Leek KingLeek.
People gotta follow you too, bro.
I would even be pressed about follows. I'd be like,
I know, but I'm saying,
yeah.
but if they want to hit you up directly, they could.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, most definitely. I mean, yeah, I guess, I sometimes I shy away from the social media a little bit, but yeah, like if you're trying to link, build, develop your talents, just get in tune with me. More than glad to, help anyone out.
You've been in the game for a while, and everybody's trying to come up in the game as an artist, producer, engineer, studio owner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, get some advice to those that's coming up, that's looking to get into this game to, have that longevity, man.
To me, longevity. Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite word because that's what I'm in it for. Like I think So like if you're in it for the long run, I just say stay true to yourself. Like because all the facades, all the gimmicks, like you see, like them shits, they come and go. Like so, it's like if you want, you know what I mean? Because no one, like if you waking up every day putting a mask on, like that's gonna get tiring eventually. So
Right.
stay true to yourself, be humble, treat everyone like as if you would want to be treated. Like
Right.
you know the golden rules that your mama taught you back in the day. I think those are the
Respect,
exactly,
man.
respect goes a long way, and just always bring something to the table. Like no one wants to be um you know what I mean? Like no one wants to, yeah, not necessarily copycatting, but no one wants to feel like anyone's a burden. Like for myself, especially, like I don't like being in rooms unless I'm bringing value or bringing something to the table. So, excuse me, I think that's very major as far as like along the lines of being humble and respectful.
My man King Leek is in the building, man. Feel Good Studios NYC, man. I'm trying to tell you. That's what's up.
Getting started. You know, a year from now we gonna watch this and
Like,
see where it's at.
yo, right? The come up.
That's a fact though. This is definitely the come up. So we gonna tap back in a year from now and see how things have changed.
That's what it is, man. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, man, something real serious. I'm your man, Big Vegg. This is the Rocarazzi Memoir Series where we tap into the past, present, and future of one's career. Now you know about the past, present, and future because my man has a future. Longevity. You know what? Longevity is the word for this video.
Like my man Puff said, 10 years from now we'll still be on top, and that's a fact.
Take that. All right, y'all. See you guys next time. We out. Peace.